would like to remind all the participants in this room that you are joining the round 8, session 1, room B. So today we will witness an exciting match between Raya Nighters from Kantor Cabang Palangkaraya, Kedeputian Wilayah 8 versus INDC, ini and the crew, Kantor Cabang ND, Kedeputian Wilayah 11. Whoa. First and foremost, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Vika Kristina Panjaitan, Vika for short, from BPJS Kesehatan Kantor Cabang Karawang. I will be your moderator for today and lead this session until the end. I'm with Miss Ais as our co-moderator for today. Hi, Miss Ais. And I also accompanied by team from Corporate University to help me operate and as the timer to run this session smoothly. And then I would like to introduce our today's incredible educators. We have 3 educators for today's session. The first educator is Mr. Windarlan Sialagan. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, Vika. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Nice to see you all.
Very good. Are you excited for today's match, sir?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And then we have Miss Suciati Megawardani. Good afternoon, Miss. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon, Vika. Good afternoon, debaters. Have a nice debate today.
Okay, thank you. And then our third educator, Miss Mardiana. How are you, ma'am?
Hello, everyone. Good luck for today.
Okay, thank you. And thank you again for joining this session in time. Please let us know if there is something to clear up. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, here we have 2 teams that are ready for the match. Allow me to introduce them to all participants. First team is Raya Nighters as Affirmative House. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Thank you for Raya Nighters. I would like you to introduce your team and yourself from the first speaker first.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I am from Raya Nighters, the first speaker. Thank you.
Okay, and the second?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I am Ratna, the second speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. And the third speaker?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leah as the third speaker of Raya Nighters team. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to say hello to Mr. Kristi Sohindro as their Honorable Counselor. Hello, sir.
Hello, good morning. Here is still morning, Miss. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good luck for Raya Nighters. And we're moving to the opposition house, INDC, Indi and the crew. To the to the speakers, please introduce yourself from the first speaker.
Hello everyone, I'm Budi. I'm the first speakers from INDC. Thank you.
Thank you. And the second speaker?
Hi everyone, my name is Anna. I'm the second speaker of INDC.
Thank you. And the third speaker?
Hello everyone, I'm Ria. I'm the third speaker. Good luck with the competition, everyone.
Okay, and I would like to say hello to Miss Nara Grace as their Honorable Counselor. Hello, ma'am. Okay, I think it's here. And good luck for INDC crew for today's match. And to all the audience, the chat box is all yours. Everyone is open to give your support and cheer to your favorite team. But remember, it's safe space, so please keep it positive and be kind. And then, before we start, allow me to read some small rules for all participants. Number 1, no participants are allowed to open their microphones before their own turn. Number 2, team members must have renamed themselves with format team1 team name _ first, second, or third, and team name _ counselor. Number 3, each team members joins with their own Zoom account, not allowed to join in sharing account. And number 4, the operator may do necessary things to make sure this session runs smoothly. So let's start the debate. So our motion for today is the main idea. This house believes that a sin tax on sugar and sugary drinks and food should be used to fund the National Health Insurance Program, JKN. So, speakers, are you ready? Okay, for the timer, please, the team Korpu, please help me to set the timer.
Yang ibu dulu aja. Oke, Miss. Timer start now. Yang ibu yang ini ya dari sini ya, vertikal internal berarti dari sini.
Okay, the timer. Okay, it's already set. So, speakers, use your time well. The first chance of speaking comes to the first of affirmative side. Are you ready? Your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay, I'm ready. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and also the honorable adjudicator for today's debate session. Thank you for the opportunity. We on affirmative team strongly support that sin tax on sugar and sugary drink and food should be used to fund the National Health Insurance Program. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to keep my argument why sin tax on sugar and sugary drink and food should be used to fund the National Health Insurance Program. So, Jaminan Kesehatan Nasional or Indonesia National Health Insurance has been challenged by fiscal sustainability, partly due to the budget deficit. One of the significant causes is major catastrophic disease, include stroke, ischemic heart disease, chronic kidney disease, etc., which accounted for 25% of total JKN claim in 2020. It proved by the fact that children diabetes cases have increased 70 times from 2010. These diseases are attributed to certain commodity consumption, including sugary food and drink. In Indonesia, according to research, sugary food and drink are consumed at least once a week by 62% children, 72% adolescents, and 61% of adults, with ready-to-drink tea being the most frequently consumed sugary beverage. Due to its consumption level, Indonesia has a large and rapidly growing market for sugary food and drink. Ladies and gentlemen, first I would like to explain that discuss what count as sugar and sugary food and drink. I will start with from sugar. In this case, the word sugars refers to free sugars with its simple carbohydrate, monosaccharida, and disaccharida. They include sugar added to food and drink by manufacturer with or all type of honey, syrup, malt extract, fructose, and fruit juice concentrate. And then lactose and galactose. They are added as ingredient to manufacture food and drink to enhance sweetness. And all sugar naturally present in fruit and vegetable juice concentrate and pure and powder. Why? Because even though this sugar occur naturally, they are not in their natural state. And now, sugary food and drink is all food and drink that contain free sugar, include a beverage that may be in form of carbonate and non-carbonate drink, fruit and vegetable juice liquid, and etc. Meanwhile, one of the World Health Organization, Best Buy in countering non-communicable disease in the risk factor the consumption of free sugar into impose health tax. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Your time is up. And the next is the first speaker of negative side. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay. Good afternoon, educators. Thank you for the time that's been given to me. I'm the first speaker of the negative house. we have heard the arguments from the first speakers of the affirmative house, but there are a few points that I would like to clarify because they are not very clear. First speaker said that did affect sugar consumption, so syntax used to find JKN. And we know that we have some point of view using the syntax is more effective. From research by Harvard School of Public Health show that using the revenue from the syntax for behavior change programs is more effective in the future because it focuses on prevention than treatment. And behavior change programs like nutrition education and promoting a healthy lifestyle can reduce sugar consumption and improve the overall health of the population. And you know that behavior change programs can be more cost efficient than managing the National Health Insurance or GKN, which is complex and expensive. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention or CDC, education and a public health initiative can be implemented at a lower cost but have a significant long-term impact. If people change their behavior and reduce their risk of disease, this will reduce the pressure on the JKN in the future. Thus, prevention through behavior change programs can save high healthcare costs. The WHO also support this. And starting that investing in prevention can lead to substantial savings in healthcare costs over the long term. And I have some questions to affirmative team. Number one, can you showing a calculation how many percent of the tax revenue from sugar product would to fund JKN? And next, how does this compare to the cost JKN faced due to from health claim related to sugar consumptions? Is it effective? And why do you choose to fund JKN through this tax rather than investing in prevention programs to change behavior? Isn't that prevention is better than treatment, right? And I think that's all. More details will be explained by second speakers and third speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. You still have 10 seconds. That's enough?
Enough.
Okay, thank you. Then the second speaker of affirmative team, are you ready? Your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a second speaker affirmative, and first I want to reverse the negative side. Meanwhile, one of the World Health Organization based bias in controlling non-communicable disease and the risk factors of the consumption of free sugar and all sugary products is to impose health taxes. This measure will increase price, reduce the affordability of harmful commodities, and create additional government revenue, which could be allocated to finance the healthcare sectors, which is National Health Insurance of Program JKN. This strategy is successful measured in many low and medium income countries. Health taxes have been widely successful in providing sustainable health financing. And then I will give an example for two countries that had successfully implemented a sin tax for sugar and sugary food and drinks, which is Mexico, that imposed an sin tax of 1 peso per liter or 10% on all sugary beverages in January 2014, and the revenue from sin tax was allocated to programs to overcome diabetes cases and invest in drinking water taps in schools. Next is Philippines that impose an sin tax on sugary beverages in January 2018, raising the prices by 14% in a bid to reduce obesity and raise revenue for government infrastructure objects. And now the question is, why should be allocated for funding national health insurance? Here's the point. imposing a sin tax on sugar and sugary drinks and foods can be a strategic move to fund Indonesia's national health insurance in several ways. The first is revenue generation, and then public health improvement, behavior change, funding specific health initiative, and then economic impact. Overall, we the affirmative team believe that by aligning fiscal policy with public health objectives, Indonesia can create a sustainable funding stream for its national health insurance while simultaneously improving the health outcomes of its population by imposing sin tax of sugar and all types of sugary food and drinks in the market. That's all for my arguments. Thank you.
Thank you. You use your time very well. And the next is the second speaker of negative team. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Good afternoon, honorable adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the second speaker of the negative house. Although the first and the second speaker of the affirmative house have explained their arguments, they still have not yet touched the core of the discussion today. They cannot explain properly and show us how the scheme and mechanism of the implementation of the sin tax would go, how many percent would go to fund the JKN program, for example. Moreover than that, let's continue on something more complex. We would like to provide an overview or a clear image of how the health service would work in a bigger picture. If we are talking about health, these are the four principles that we could not left behind. The first, promotive; the second, preventive; the third, curative; and the fourth, rehabilitative. These four activities also mentioned in UU RI number 36 year 2009 concerning about health, which is Upaya Kesehatan. Let's talk about health promotion and prevention. Moreover, based on journal about health promotion in 2023, health promotion and health protection and disease prevention cover a broad scope of public health concepts that can be applied clinically in organizations, in communities, and the government entities. WHO stated that health promotion and disease prevention could improve the determinant of health and empower individuals to improve their health by increasing their control over the factors that influence health and not focus on resource solely on treatment. As we know, the affirmative house proposes that the sin tax on sugar, sugary drinks, and foods should be used to fund the JKN program. Sure, our house believes that the sustainability of the JKN program cannot rely solely on funding. And sure, sin tax on sugar and sugary drinks would be a good move, although once again, the affirmative house could not yet prove and explain how the scheme and mechanism to implement this tax. But let's just assume this sin tax can be implemented. Then what happened? Sure, we get a cut of the excise, that the grant percent, let's say 20% or 30%, but is it worth the medical claims that we have to pay? Of course not. Let's say if BPJS Kesehatan, we also have the program called promotive and preventive. We even have the staff named by that, but this is totally different. What the promotive and preventive do in BPJS Kesehatan have the concern to those who already sick. If the fund that comes from the sin tax on sugar, sugary drinks, and food is allocated to BPJS Kesehatan, it will mainly be used to pay those who already sick. But our house believes that it is way more important to allocate the fund to the first and the second principle, which are promotive and preventive. Proud to oppose. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You use your time well. And then the next is the third speaker of affirmative team. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, and our honorable adjudicators, Leah, the third speaker of affirmative group. With a heavy heart, I have to tell you a sad news that happened recently, which is there has been a lot of buzz on our national television and online media about many kids undergoing a dialysis procedures at Cipto Mangunkusumo Hospital, Jakarta, due to a kidney disease. And before being diagnosed with a kidney disorders, most of the children treated at this national referral hospital consume a lot of packaged sweetened drinks. It has to be really sad to hear that our young generation had to suffer that way. And this is the urgency of limiting the consumption of sugary foods and drinks in Indonesia. And by allocating the syntax of these products to fund their national health insurance. Responding to this negative speaker statement about the syntax might be failed to address the root cause of unhealthy behaviors of free sugar and sugary products consumption. I see your point, but with all respect that I have to tell you that as the world continues to grapple with the negative impacts of unhealthy habits such as consuming free sugars and products, all type of sugary foods and drinks, like it or not, the role of syntax in promoting public health has become increasingly important. While you guys sitting there arguing that syntax unfairly target low-income individuals or fail to address the cause of unhealthy behaviors, we believe that they are a necessary measure to discourage harmful habits and generate a revenue for funding our national health insurance. And next, about the statement of the first speaker from negative team, you might think that it's better to prevent than treating in this case. I see your point, but I strongly disagree with you. I have to tell you that this solution won't succeed in one shot. A necessary effort to support this implementation is needed to find a balance between public health. And I completely understand to find this balance between public health and individual freedom in consumption is a complex issue, consideration of different perspective and approach. While syntax can be effective in reducing the consumption of unhealthy products, they must be implemented carefully to avoid an unintended consequence and ensure that they are not disproportional, affecting low-income individuals. By implementing target interventions, educating the public, providing incentive for healthy choice, we can work toward a healthier future with respecting individual freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next is the third speaker of negative team. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable adjudicator. Let me say BPJS Kesehatan is a national health insurance program aimed at providing equitable and quality healthcare access to all Indonesians. However, along its journey, BPJS Kesehatan faced various challenges that threaten its sustainability. The affirmative house teams believes that the implementation to the tax for sugar, and we can say syntax, significantly contribute to the sustainability of BPJS Kesehatan by fund mechanism. But how to manage it? Your turn explain in detail. How do you propose that funding goal by the tax? Yes, we know the news about the children that affect from sugary food, but how you will manage this impact? How will this affect from the children you say before? However, our host believe that the mechanism of syntax received directly, we can say once again, directly by BPJS Kesehatan doesn't address the main issue for changing public behavior regarding the consumption of sweetened food. The imposition of excess tax may impact the purchasing power of people with lower income as price become higher. But it is not accompanied by the behavior change. And the president has just signed the regulation, PP number 28 of 2024, which include a discussion of tax sweetened food and still lack a clear implementation mechanism about the tax. The regulation only said that the government can make regulation about that food. Nothing at all. The good news is in the regulation imposes concrete educational step for the public. They call it controlling the obesogenic environment. What's meant by it? It's condition that leads to increase the body weight, such as lifestyle, high-calorie food, and easy access to high-calorie food. That's why our host believe why education and health promotion are more important for long-term impact. People need to be aware of the health risk posed by the consuming sweetened food product. And then continuous education can help people understand the importance of a healthy diet and choose better alternatives. And then effective education and health promotion program can reduce the prevalence of disease associated with excessive sugar consumption, such as diabetes and obesity. This will ultimately reduce the burden of claim of BPJS Kesehatan and support the sustainability of this program. And then BPJS has lacked the function flexibility to directly use the tax revenue for changing public behavior. Allocating tax revenue to agency directly responsible for prevention and promotion program can be more effective in the achieving the goal of reducing sweetened food and consumption and related disease prevalence. Example, health ministry. Thank you.
Thank you. You use your time very well. Now we are entering the conclusion part. The first team that delivered their conclusion or replies goes to the negative house and replied by the affirmative house. The negative house, you shall be ready. Your time begins once you start speaking.
The sustainability of the JKN program cannot be maintained if it relies solely on one single source of funding. To ensure the program's long-term viability and effectiveness, it is essential to integrate the current funding scheme with a variety of other funding alternatives. There's no doubt, but does allocating the tax on sugar, sugary, and foods drink to JKN program is the most effective and efficient way in the long run? Based on law number 39, year 2009, chapter 6 about health efforts, there are 4 activities that I've mentioned before considered as health efforts or upaya kesehatan, which are carried out with a promotive, preventive, curative, and rehabilitative approach. If we are looking at 4 approach, they all stand together. If we only focus on one aspect, the health condition will never find its balance. As we know, the JKN program, which has been run by BPJS Kesehatan, mainly focused on the curative state, in which we can say all the funds that have been used to pay the medical claims, most of them because the condition of all the patients were already in the curative state. Sustainability is a long-term effort. Once again, prevention better than treatment. Therefore, it would be better to use the tax on sugar, sugar drinks, and food directly to prevent it rather than providing it directly to BPJS Kesehatan. Both aim for health, but in different ways. Why do we impose excise taxes to treat the impacts of disease caused? Wouldn't it be better to use those taxes to make effort to prevent such disease from occurring? What can be done is utilize these funds, although BPJS Kesehatan is not directly receive the fund. Instead, it benefits us from the efficiency that arises if the severity of disease can be reduced from the start. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then the affirmative house, your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, and also the honorable educator, to conclude our argument, we strongly believe that the government should use the sin tax on the free sugar and sugary drink and food to fund the National Health Insurance Program. We know that the JKN program is not only for treatment, but also for preventive programs, such as the prevalence program. But service costs are increased every year, especially for catastrophic diseases. As we aware that the sustainability of the JKN program cannot depend on only one source of funding. It requires combination of the existing funding scheme with other funding alternatives, such as excise intensification in the form of free sugar and sugary food and drink, and increased regional financial contribution. In addition to this, sin tax free sugar and sugary drinks would definitely have impact on the prevalence of obesity, which is a major risk factor for diabetes and other non-communicable diseases. By prevention should huge burden non-communicable disease, the money saved from the part of healthcare-related costs for managing such diseases can be utilized for providing equitable health service and developing health infrastructure. Hence, it is considered that the money that is generally either directly or indirectly by imposing free sugar and sugary food and drink tax can be used for various welfare measures of the population rehabilitative and palliative service as a way to progress toward universal health coverage. Based on this argument, I broadly support this motion that sin tax on sugar and sugary food and drink should be to fund the National Health Insurance Program to be proposed. That's all from Ryan Actors, affirmative team. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You still, okay. Okay, so the debate session is over. Wow, it was very tense. The topic is very interesting. Thank you for both teams. It was very intense. Everyone did well to deliver your opinion and data. And each of you used your time very well. Now it's time to let our educators to have a breakout room session to discuss this debate session. And we will come back in a few minutes. To the speakers, you may get a toilet break, but remember, you still stand still until the session is over and is officially done. Okay, thank you. Welcome back, our educators. It's been a tough decision for our educators, but this is competition and we need to decide which team deserve to go to the next round. And we would like to invite Mr. Windarlan Sialagan to deliver the comment. Time and media is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Vika. Yeah, again, good afternoon, everyone. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate you all and thank you for the debate that you have been performed so well. Yeah, each speaker from both of you, both team, the affirmative house and from the negative side, has given your best performance by providing your presentations, arguments, and response, yeah, according to the topics discussed. So I will not judge one by one, because our pen has spoken and has determined the result. Yeah. However, for the motion being debated, in general, I see that the ideas presented by the affirmative side are very good, yeah, for the sustainability of the National Health Insurance Program, yeah, Syntax. You have included explanation, best practice in Mexico and Philippines, yeah, so from countries that have implemented this program. However, in order for this idea to be accepted well, in my opinion, in my point of view, the argument should be supported by strong and supportive regulations in Indonesia, yeah, including relevant data and how to implement this idea in terms of mechanism and scheme, yeah. And this is related to the negative side. They always ask basic questions that if I'm not mistaken, yeah, if I'm not wrong, this basic question that has not yet answered by the affirmative side. Yeah. How is the mechanism and implementation scheme? You have the idea, but you don't tell us how to implement this in terms of mechanism and the scheme. Yeah. So I think in general, that's all from me. Yeah. Maybe my colleagues, yeah, other educators will add more explanation. So once again, congratulations to both teams for giving good debate performance. Thank you. Back to you, Vika.
Thank you, sir. And the next is the comment and feedback from Miss Mardiana. The media is yours, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say congratulations for that's really a great match this afternoon, and I really enjoy the debate. Like Mr. Win say that debating is like a thrilling game of chess, I guess, where your words are your weapons and your logic is your strategy. Whether you're seasoned debater or just starting, understanding the core principles of debate can take you far. In the heat of a debate, like what we already see, it's not just about what you know, it's about how you think. So strong logic skills are the backbone of a great debater. And both of teams already show us how to make a great debate. But the topic is really interesting, and the affirmative team should be better than what they show us this afternoon. But it's okay. We learned something in this afternoon that we should um, use the best chance, from the motion that you already given to win the debate. And for the negative teams, you guys really take the chance to apa ya, membalikan keadaan ya, switch the condition. I guess that's all from me. Both of teams really great performers, great debaters. Good luck, and for the next match, I hope you can show us more heater, more interesting match. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The last adjudicator is Miss Suchi, and also to announce our winner for today's session and also the best speaker for today's session. The media is yours, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Mbak Vika. Well, it's a very interesting debate this afternoon, actually, because the motion is really related with our JKN nowadays, and we are fighting about this motion actually in the real life of JKN. So it's a very interesting debaters. All of your argument is a very interesting also. But I would like to give a feedback to both of the team because we still need to announce the winner, right? Okay. So first, actually, the first speaker of each team has doing a very good job by giving a topic to be discussed, like the first speaker of affirmative mentioning about the motion that the needs of the syntax to sustainable JKN, and then also the first speaker of negative respond the motion very well by saying that we better to use the syntax to change the behavior of the citizen who consume the sweet beverage, for example. But so because of both of the first speaker of each team has doing a very good job and delivering a very nice proposal. So this debate is depend on the second speaker of each team. Unfortunately, the second speaker of the affirmative team didn't respond the proposal of the negative team very well. You don't rebut any argument about that this should be used for to change the behavior, something like that, and to do the promotive and preventive. You just keep mentioning about your motion. You just strengthen your motion that this has to be done because the needs of the JKN fund, something like that. And the second speaker of the negative team doing is a very good job by tackling all of the affirmative argument by saying that that what is the mechanism, what will you do, how many persons, something like that. And then the negative speaker of the second speaker of the negative team also strengthening their idea about that JKN will also will get the benefit from indirectly from our proposal. So the argument of the negative team still stays strong. So, well, actually, the affirmative team missed 1 point on the second speaker, but the third speaker of the affirmative team has add so many good argument and tackling all the argument and negative team, but unfortunately, it's quite late because the second speaker didn't respond at all, something like that. But the third speaker of the affirmative team has doing a very good job with responding and keep strengthening their idea about the needs of the syntax for the JKN JKN to be sustained. So based on that situation of the debate this afternoon, actually by the motion only, this debate blindly easily to be win by the affirmative. If I were affirmative team, I would say that, okay, you say that promotive preventive, you will use the syntax for promotive and preventive, but JKN also have the promotive and preventive program, so you can give to JKN also. You can say that, affirmative team, actually. So you can say that let's give the fund to the JKN, and JKN will also take the benefit not only to cure the disease caused by the beverage, diabetic or dialysis, but we can also take this fund, the syntax fund, for the promotive preventive in JKN. If you were saying that, all of the argument of negative team will fail and you're going to win. But unfortunately, affirmative team, you didn't listen very well their argument. It's very easy actually to tackle the negative team by saying that, okay, we have promotive preventive program, just give it the fund to me. You support our argument, actually saying something like that. I'm waiting on that. Yeah, you support our argument. You didn't realize you actually support our argument. You can say that, but unfortunately, I'm not here until the end. So I have to announce. I have to announce the winning team for this afternoon debate. We adjudicator all agree that the winning team of after this debate is the negative house. And yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah. And then I would like to give the best speaker to the second speaker of the negative team, because you remind me of my old days. Yes, you did a very good job. This is a really debate. You tackling all of their argument. It's a very good job, and do again on the next round. And you're going to be a winner again. Thank you. See you again.
Thank you, Ms. Suchi, for the feedback. And congratulations again to the winning team, INDC, INI, and the crew as the negative house. And welcome to top 4, one step closer to the grand final. And also congratulations for our best speaker for this session, the second speaker of the negative house. More details will be announced in the Telegram group. And highly appreciated for the other team that show us incredible performance, Ryaniters. You may not win today, but tomorrow is a new day and full of new opportunities. So thank you everyone for joining our today's match. Thank you for our adjudicators, team counselors, and supporters. See you in the next session. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.